Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Maurice Waters for Black Sci-Fi TV, and we're here in Center City, Philadelphia at the Hampton Inn at the one and only Black Label ComiCon with one of its organizers and founder, Eric Cooper.
Hey guys, how you doing? I guess the reason why I had to do this is because creators were being shunned at Comic-Cons and being overblown by Marvel and DC, Dark Horse, and it was time to bring people of color. It actually didn't matter what ethnic you are. It was something there where if you had true creativity and a true product for the market, you should be highlighted, and they're not getting the respect they deserve. So this Comic-Con is all about the creators. It's not about the fanboy work, it's about people who have true product for the marketplace and for their people.
And you've been around the convention scene for a very long time as a writer, and now stepping into this area as an organizer, what's been kind of the biggest revelation or thing that you've learned from this?
Well, learning that who's really with you, who's really not with you. You know, they always said people prove themselves through time. And when you put a bid on like this and you don't get, you know, they say, oh, I'm your friend, you know, I'm going to advertise for you, I'm going to be part of your show. And then, you know, they kind of fall apart. And if people say, you know what, I've been backing you for a long time, I'm still here, I continue to be here because I believe in what you got. And those are people that you want in your circle. I always say keep your circle kind of small because the true people with you, they'll always be throughout time. So always keep that in mind at all times.
So the name Black Label Comic-Con, that's different. Where did you get that idea?
Well, I'm considered somewhat a liquor lush, so I like my gin.
Okay.
Yeah, but mainly when you think about, you know, about certain qualities of liquor, when someone says Black Label, I didn't think about it because of black skin or I had to do a Black Comic-Con. I thought about a unique taste, and that's what I wanted about this whole con. Because it didn't matter about your ethnic background. You bring something different to the table that has unique taste to it, so it should be on display at this floor.
And I think, you know, that's an interesting point you bring up, being that the political climate that we're in right now, where our leadership is really polarizing and causing a division, as opposed to bringing everybody together. And, you know, to see that here at the Black Label Comic-Con, one of the things that you're doing is honoring Black Wall Street, which I thought was very interesting and different for a convention to do that. Why are you honoring Black Wall Street?
Well, the main reason why, because when you start looking back at our history about things that we've done back in the past that no one talks about, you know, we have Black History Month, but it's only 1 month, and we've done so much in this country, and we're not getting the accolades or the recognition we deserve because they whitewash a lot of stuff. And they don't want to talk about their past because they know it was a very dirty, dark past. But bring it out to light, learn about it, because especially for people of color, especially for Black American, we've done so many businesses back in the day, and they've been burned down, they've been destroyed, and we never will get our you know, what we deserve from those burning downs, those riots that started over racial divide. And for this Black Wall Street is that when I started looking back at our history, I said, well, look, there's an era in time that no one talks about. And I said, you know what, how about if I bring that into like almost a sci-fi history lesson where I start to reflect back on what happened in the past and bring it to more of a futuristic type of feeling. And people love the idea, and some celebrities are part of it, even Patrick Stewart's part of this whole book. And they said, dude, no one's ever done a sci-fi Black history type of thing, and I want to be the first person to bring it to market.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And to look at your other writing, Night Seeker, you know, I think when people think comic books and sci-fi, they think that people are really trying to escape. And when I look at Night Seeker and the writings that you do and the influence that it's had, I think you deal directly with world problems. You know, and I think about the illustration that you have with Trayvon Martin and your character Night Seeker.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
I give credit to Keith Thomas, who was one of the writers that passed away about a couple years ago. And I was developing a character that I wanted to put in Night Seeker's world. And I said, well, and it was before the Trayvon Martin incident happened. And the way Merge got his power was almost very similar to what happened to Trayvon Martin. And it was affecting me so much, I thought, wait, two and two together, I said, wait, oh, that's supposed to be part of my world. So I was going to make him the main character. I said, but no, as an honor and respect, I'll keep him as the spirit in the world that we've done. And I had Sean Arleen, one of the artists here in Philly, and as part of this convention, I said, look, Sean, I need a picture of Nightseeker and Trayvon Martin, and I need him as a spirit. And so why are we doing it? You'll figure out why later on. So I know about Tracy Martin coming to Philly for a dinner.
And that's the father, Trayvon's Martin. Father.
Yeah, Tracy, yeah. And I went to the dinner, and I said, well, Mr. Martin, I said, I have a project I'm working on that I really want to have your son a part of my work, and I think the universe told me to do this. And I showed him a picture, he cried. He said no one from Marvel, no one from DC, no one from the independent writers came to him and actually asked this kind of a request. And he honored it, said, do your work. Do your work. That is honorable for my son.
Wow.
Yeah. So everything I do always has meaning and purpose, and I always make sure in my writing is always reflected, because stories back in the day were about teaching about yourself and about your society. Nowadays, everything is all about entertainment only. There's no one's teaching anything, and that's why science is kind of tanking a little bit. So we got to bring more morals back into the storylines that we're writing, and that's the idea of what I'm doing.
And just in closing, if for people that are watching this and are interested in either trying to do a convention or trying to write or illustrate or just get into this industry at all, what advice would you give them?
Find your why. I've always told any seminar I've done or any panels I've done, if you find your why, your how is all around you. When the why is so big and people see it in your eyes and your determination, there'll be other people out there to help you out. And always try to find someone a little smarter than you about how to conduct it. And if they really believe what you got, they will help you out. They will help you out.
Awesome. And, just from blacksci-fi.com, we want to commend you, and the fact that, over the years, I won't say how many years, that we've run across each other, that you're always open, you're always growing, you're always available. And you're adding, this is just another thing on your resume, which is special. Congratulations. I think this is a great success. And we look forward to more bigger, better, greater things for you.
Hope we make this annual. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. So that means next year get your tickets early, because you might sell out.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming out.
All right.
Hi, my name is Lynn Marie, cosplaying as Nubia, and you're watching Black Sci-Fi TV.
And we're back, Black Sci-Fi TV, Sean Arleen here, Black Label ComiCon, and right next to me I have the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, I'm Jason Richardson, and I am the creator of VT Heroes.
Oh, man, okay, yeah, so tell us about VT Heroes and what is that?
Okay, well, VT Heroes, it's a fighting card game with influence off of what people know in America is just Power Rangers, but in Japan, that's a whole genre of, cinema, TV, tokusatsu is the name. And I created one where you build your own, what we call hero, instead of, it's not Ranger, but your own hero. And you battle against someone else who built their own hero with a series of cards. So it's a tabletop fighting card game. There's deck building, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon, those, card games. And I'm real excited because we're going to be debuting it at J1Con in November, on November 2nd and 3rd in Atlantic City. And with that, we're going to have the Red and Silver Ranger from Power Rangers in Space. They're going to be there to help present the game as it comes out.
Oh, that's a major move right there, man. I mean, because J1Con is your Comic Con as well, right?
Right.
Man, you just doing it all. You just out here greedy. Is that what you're doing? So why a tabletop game? Why go in that direction?
Tabletop right now is taking off really well in the industry, so I wanted to jump right in on that. And I wanted to add a little twist to it, because I see cosplayers who cosplay as different characters, and they get body shamed a lot, for either being too skinny, being too big, being, not this, not that. So I crafted the characters off of various different body types. My pink hero is a really buff dude. Usually it's a female character, but I wanted to kind of do something different. The red one, she's a large girl, got curves, and Then we have like a very slim girl who's the purple one, and other characters that are usually the male characters. those are the women. So I wanted to kind of like flip the script on it. That way, when people cosplay as these characters, they can't be body shamed for, fitting that role, because that role was made for them.
Yeah, that's really important, and I like what you're doing from a story standpoint too. Just adding something fresh and different. No, I mean, no, you're the mind behind it, like doing all the work. Because I'm assuming then these is artwork done for the cars and the gaming mechanics. Like, it was like 20 people behind this. I'm assuming.
Unfortunately, no. It was me. I came up with the game mechanics and how the game plays. I've taken bits of previous games I've developed that I either never put out in the public or, ended up working with some other studio or something like that. Stuff that I know I still own. And I just took pieces of that and kind of redirected it and made what it is. And for the cards themselves, I'm the graphic designer and the artist and illustrator for it.
Yeah, I love that. Now, I got a tough question for you here. But, Black Sci-Fi TV, we like to get to the root of things, okay? So as a black man, being in this industry, you have your own ComiCon. Have you experienced any kind of pushback, any kind of negativity? What's some of the challenges that you face?
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, you get hate for being black and creating stuff. Like you create rivals who do whatever they can to try and push. Even in the comic industry, I've worked in the comic industry for a long time, and there's been, and you know that from like seeing like in comics, like how people will, come at you for not even trying to be the first, but to be one of the people involved in trying to make a change in the industry. I try to make sure to keep everything as universal as possible and open for as many people as possible. So hopefully that message stays strong with people and other conventions follow suit, and then it could be one just unified nerddom.
And if you could give one piece of advice to younger Jason or to any of the other entrepreneurs coming up here, and if they're trying to start their own con or have their own project, whatever it is, what advice would you give?
Run! No, never give up. Stay focused. Now, don't try and go out, start off with like all the glitz and glamour. Wherever you start, that is your rock bottom. So if you start really high, you cannot go below that. So make it manageable for yourself. Whatever you can do for yourself, start there. Start at the lowest you can do it, because then anything you add on to that will always look like an improvement. It is better to always improve by little steps than to fall back by leaps and bounds.
All right. So thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you for spending some time with Black Sci-Fi TV. We out.
And that's on the Blurred R.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're in Center City. It's Black Sci-Fi TV at the Black Label ComiCon, where you never know what you're going to find. But because we're in Philly, everybody got to have a haircut that's on point. So I'm here today with
Jacques Sci-Fi Scott.
And the name of your store?
Another Planet Barbershop LLC's top-rated barbershop in PA.
How'd you come up with the name and the idea, concept of doing this sci-fi with what you do?
I mean, quite frankly, Another Planet has no earthbound competition. There wasn't any other names to represent me to the infinite.
So when we talk about imagination, we're talking about thinking beyond and going beyond. Yeah. What inspires you to do that?
Honestly, my faith. I'm a believer in a higher power, and I get my strength from that. My swag, my artistry, my creativity. I use that light to flow.
So how does
my artwork.
How does that translate into doing haircuts and doing hair? Period.
Just beauty. Just creating identity and art every day. And my service is 5 stars, elite. It's, like I said, #1 in the state. I just won top-rated local for #1 barbershop in PA.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
Awesome. I was going to ask you about the people's reaction You're located on South Street, correct?
Yes.
And and really that's a great area where people are a little more open-minded
Yeah.
and experimental to try things out, new and different things.
Absolutely.
So can you talk a little bit about, I mean, you're wearing an astronaut suit. Are you into science yourself, or?
Yeah, I've always been a dork, like since the beginning of time. I've never been shy.
So if you had a superpower, what would it be, and why?
I already have a superpower.
Okay, let's talk. What is that?
It's my dual perspective on art and life.
Okay.
I mean, I had a traumatic brain injury, 2014, which like at a head tilt, my image like splits. So like I have like double vision.
Okay.
So with after my car accident, I woke up, I seen for everything. So with that enhanced my fading because I needed my vision to come back. So I was combating with that
Right.
and fighting through that. So as my vision did clear up, my fades were even more pristine.
Wow.
So if anything, it was the head trauma was an elevated blessing later
Yeah.
on down the road.
And can you give advice to anybody else that may be interested in doing what you're doing right now?
But cutting hair.
Cutting hair and just, your perspective on life.
Oh man, you gotta believe in yourself. Like above all things, you gotta believe in you. You gotta push your brand every day, daily, and you gotta love what you do. 'Cause I mean, if your heart's not pumping for it, it doesn't matter what it is. You're not gonna be successful in it. And ultimately, you gotta have faith because faith without work is dead. That's what I was taught.
And everybody knows. Are you from Philly? You are from Philly?
I'm from Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're still in the area, so you know the importance of a Philly fade.
And the beers.
Yeah, and the beers, for
Wait till
sure.
I do his.
Yeah, for sure, man. So how long you been coming to her? Has been a customer?
Years, man.
A year?
Almost since she's first opened.
Okay. Okay. And do you let her do whatever she wants to do, or do you have specific things?
Both. Sometimes when I want specific things done, she executes it to perfection. And if she suggests something, I trust her because I've never had a bad cut, and it's always felt like an improvement and a confidence for me. Steak.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, man, for being on the show. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you too. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, my name is Dion Floyd, the CEO and founder of Aquarius Entertainment, and I am a creator, writer, visionary, all the above. And I started the company back in 2005. And so the first project I actually was really developing was a piece called Urban Sprawl, which we're still going to put out. So we kind of shifted gears and we did a vampire comic called Immortal Kiss, which we put out in 2005. We put out like 2 subsequent issues, but then I went back and kind of sort of rebooted the project and came out with a 0 issue. So the 0 issue is currently out. It's called Immortal Kiss Eye of Hecate. And then I recently put out Starfall, The Undoing, which is a collaborative effort, like a crossover type of effort that contains characters created by Andre Batts, Adalberto McFarlane, and Seth Farrell. So those 3 characters cross over into our story and universe that Reese Robertson and I created. So I'm excited about that because the first issue marks the official comic book appearance of Seth Farrell's Glyph X character, who's actually known to be a literary character, but he makes his first comic book appearance in Starfall issue 1. And one of the reasons why I created Aquarius Entertainment and wanted to do comics, one of my influences, of course, was Milestone back in the 90s, where I saw all these diverse, multi-ethnic, multicultural, layered characters. And that was a really big inspiration to me to create something that was along those lines. But I wanted to take a more cinematic approach in terms of every comic I kind of look at as like a little, like movies on paper. So anything we do is almost like an illustrated sort of a screenplay. So when you flip through the pages of a book, it's basically like a movie of sorts. So we always take that sort of cinematic and yet like bigger sort of than life approach to it. My motto is go big or go home. The advice I would give to writers is first of all, find what your voice is, find out what you want to do in terms of writing, in terms of what you want to do. There's a couple of books that can help you do that, and you can get those books on Amazon, be it script writing, be it writing for screenplays, be it comic book writing or graphic novel writing. Make sure that you have a really good, solid, reliable team that you pay, because nothing's cheap unless you decide that you're going to do a collaboration and you all work out some type of agreement on paper.
Bill Johnson here as Apollo Creed, and you're watching Black Sci-Fi TV.
What's up, people? Sean Aline here with Black Sci-Fi TV. We're at the first annual Black Label Con. Miss Lynn, how you doing?
I'm good, dear. How are you?
I'm fantabulous. Thanks for being here with Black Sci-Fi TV. So, I see you at all these cons, and I'm surprised that you don't have the fans flocking you like usual, right? But you're doing one of your signature cosplays. You're here as
Nubia.
As Nubia. Now, a lot of people don't know who Nubia is. Could you tell the general audience?
She is Wonder Woman's supposed to be twin sister.
Right.
So we don't get a lot of her in the comic book, and a lot of people that do her, they tend to just call themselves Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So since we are at a black event, I'm going to come as Nubia, and that's why I changed up the shield that I had. The other shield that I had the W on it. Okay. So I'm like, as Nubia, she wouldn't be walking around with Wonder Woman's W's on.
And it's amazing. So you do all your cosplay stuff? Like you make everything yourself?
No, the only thing I made myself is the shield, and I had somebody else make everything else.
That's so impressive. Now, when was your first encounter with Nubia? Like, how did you find out about the character, and what'd you think?
I probably found out about her when I was in my late 20s. I was looking for some black characters. And when I was looking up, I actually put in Wonder Woman, Black Wonder Woman, and it gave me some cosplayers, but then it also brought up Nubia. And I was like, oh, who is this? Because I've never heard of her. You know, Wonder Woman has been one of my favorite characters since I was like 2 or 3 years old, you know. So I was like, oh, she's got a black sister. I was like, word. And then I started looking for the comic books, and I can't find her in any comic book that's printed, you know. So I was like, maybe it's just a myth, but it's like, it's nice to see, or at least hear, that she got a black sister.
Yeah, I remember they had, we're here in Philly, by the way, and Atomic City is one of the leading comic book stores here, and they had her first appearance, but I missed it by this much. But when you're not cosplaying Nubia, what are some of your other favorite characters to cosplay?
I've done She-Ra, because they're trying to do a minority, they're doing a push for more minorities in arts and cosplay, so they're doing a whole Masters of the Universe thing. So I did She-Ra, and He-Man was black. I do Misty Knight, I've done RC the Transformer, so it's a little bit of everything, you know.
So as a cosplayer of color, have you ever had any conflict from cosplaying certain characters that might be another race, like whether like online, in person? Has anyone ever approached you with anything?
They don't approach me physically, but online, yeah. When I first started playing, when I put on the first Wonder Woman costume, I got a lot of people that were saying, well, why don't you play a character that's of your race? I'm like, why does it matter? I never saw cosplayers of color until I was older. So it's like, well, I feel it is my responsibility now to let other little girls see whatever character is out there and that you can do this too.
Hold it, Sean. You asked her a question, now she gets to ask you a question. That's Black Sci-Fi policy.
Okay, sure.
All right, so let's see, out of all the characters that you are, say, into, what was your very first character crush?
Oh, the first character crush?
Yeah.
That is a tough one. I should go with something. I should go with something more manly, right? But I would say it was a character off of. I hate you, Maurice. You too, Lynn. So it was a character off of Brave Star. It was the judge. You know, like I don't know. Wait, what was it about the gavel? Seemed like she could do some damage with that. All right? You happy to get this off of me? So, okay, that was different. To get back on track, what's some parting words you would give for other cosplayers? What would you tell them?
The younger ones, if you're just getting into it, I would say just go ahead and do it. Don't worry about being accurate. You know, deconstruct the costume. You know, a lot of people don't jump right into it because they don't know how to make the costume or they don't know how the parts fit together. Just start deconstructing it. You know, if you have to buy each piece separately and put it together, it's not a problem. Just do it. It'll
Beautiful thing. Thank you so much. So I appreciate it. One last thing. Can I borrow this real quick? I gotta take care of some stuff later on. I'll hold on to this. Lynn. So here for Black Sci-Fi TV and Black Label Con. Thanks, Lynn. I appreciate you. Back to you.
District Con is on the Blur Dar in Staten Island, New York. Hope to see you there.
Black Sci-Fi TV, Sean Allen here with Black Label Comic Con, and I have an esteemed guest on my side that I couldn't wait to talk to. Tell the people your name, man.
What's going on, everybody? This is TJ Sterling, president and lead artist of Ray Comics.
And the best beard in the comic book game. Let them know. You see it. It's what do you use, brother?
Beard Soul Glow.
I love it. I need that. You know, I'm trying to get in there, man. So tell the people a little bit about, you know, what it is that you do, man. What's your role here at Black Label?
I'm here at Black Label Comic Con really to just support a really grassroots event, something different, something unique, and also to sell my comic book series, Alchemist. It's a sci-fi martial art action tale about a young man of color that has a latent superhuman ability that could potentially save the human race.
Now, you say you're the artist for it? Are you the writer also?
Writer and artist currently, yes sir.
No, I mean that's a lot of hats to juggle. Like, how has it been, like, getting this product out? Like, I saw your table earlier. You got a bunch of merchandise. Like, how's the road been getting this product out?
Really, the role's been challenging. I mean, I started making comics professionally in 2015, actually. But I started working in a professional space in '09 as an intern at Marvel, where I learned kind of like the science of production of books, how to put them together, really just like what the business looks like from one of the big three standpoints. And then I kind of used all that knowledge that I had from being an intern and funneled it into my books from there. But it's a labor of love, it's passion, and it's all worth the hard work and, you know, the sleepless nights, all that stuff.
Now, I wanna ask a question because I see at your table too, like, you're really pushing the indie movement. Like, for you, has there ever been a need for you to say, well, I want to work in the big two, so to speak, or has it always been like just the indie path for you?
Honestly, like, you know, I've never really had much of an interest working for the big two because the characters are cool, they're dope, and I love them just like everybody else does. But to me, what's really the dopest is when you do new stuff, create new characters, especially characters of color, of any nationality, of any sexual orientation. New characters are really where it's at because people like Netflix and Amazon and all these big companies are looking for the next big thing, the next, you know, incredible amount of content, and we have it here. We have a richness in our culture, a richness in our history, a richness in our people, and we have what they need.
What's the next step for you and your company? What do you? Because I see you have the comic books, you got the statue and everything. What's the next movement?
I'm trying to think. The next big thing really is animation. In games. That's the next thing I'm really getting into. I'm looking forward to it. But also cosplay is going to be really incredible next year for Alchemist and Ray Comics because we got helmets being built, we got costumes being built. So it'll be interesting to kind of, again, have another character walking the floor that people are going to get excited about that's a person of color. So
what's some advice you would give to other indie creators to keep them focused and to help them get where you are?
Absolutely. Honestly, advice-wise, is just, you know, think about being consistent, really. I mean, the most challenging thing is always coming out with a book. I mean, I think anybody who's been in this industry or who has loved comics has been going to cons for a long time. I know I've been going since '05. Shout out to Eric the Night Seeker who put this event on. That's where I met him all those years ago. And yeah, I mean, if you're coming out with a book every year, or at least every 6 months to a year, you're golden because people will wait a year for you to come out with a dope product. So that gives you enough time, whether you're working a day job, whether you have something else you have going on, to create something stellar and then come out every single year. But also do the shows that are important, do smaller shows, and then try to do some of the bigger shows like New York Comic Con, San Diego. But yeah, consistency is key in anything.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, CJ. I appreciate you. Tell the people one more time where they could go and get all your stuff.
Absolutely. So you can find me online at raycomics.com. That's RAEcomics.com. I'm on Instagram at TJ Sterling Art, and I'm also on Instagram at RayComics as well.
Beautiful thing, man. Thank you again for spending time with us, man. Black Sci-Fi TV, Black Label Comic Con.